Have you ever been reading something and just stopped dead in your tracks because of a word? One of those super long, complicated ones? Well, here's a secret. Words aren't just born complicated. They're built, layer by layer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly how that happens. And by the end of this, you'll have a secret weapon for decoding any word that comes your way, especially on an exam.
So check this out. Here's a headline you might see in a financial journal. The formalizational aspects. That word, formalizational, it just looks intimidating, right? It's the kind of word that almost feels designed to make you feel like you missed something. But what if I told you it all starts with a simple four-letter root?
So that's the big question, isn't it? How does a simple word like form morph into this absolute monster, formalizational? Well, that's our mission today. We're not just going to define it, we are going to deconstruct it piece by piece and show you the simple, logical steps of how it was created. If you can master this, you'll be ready for any morphology question an exam can throw at you. Okay, let's dive right in. Here's our game plan. First, we'll uncover what I call the secret layers of words. Then, we'll level up through the 5 degrees of derivation. After that, we'll use a classic example, from happy to unhappiness. And finally, we'll build you your very own toolkit to make sure you absolutely ace your exam.
First up, let's talk about these secret layers. The key concept we need to unlock is something called degrees of derivation. Now I know, that sounds super academic and complicated, but I promise you, the idea behind it is as simple as stacking Lego blocks.
So what are degrees of derivation? Put simply, it's just a way of counting the steps it takes to build a word. You start with a base, or a root, and each time you add a prefix to the front or a suffix to the end, what linguists call an affix, you go up 1 degree. Think of it like a ladder of complexity, and we're about to start climbing. All right, let's put this idea into practice. We're going to level up through all 5 degrees, taking a word from its simple root all the way to a really complex final form. We'll follow one word on its entire journey, watching it grow from this tiny seed into a full-blown structure.
And here it is. This is the entire chain for our example word. It goes from form all the way to formalizational. It looks like a huge leap, I know, but it's really just a series of small, totally logical steps. Let's break down each one.
Every journey starts at level 0. This is the 0 degree. These are your most basic, fundamental words, the ones that can't be broken down any further. Think atom, haste, or happy. They are the absolute foundation.
Now we take our first step up to the 1st degree. This is probably the most common move in word formation. You just take a simple root and add just one building block, one affix, to create a whole new word.
You can see exactly how it works here. Atom becomes atomic just by adding IC. Haste becomes hasty when you add Y. And for our main example, form plus al gives us formal. It's a simple formula. Root plus one affix equals a 1st degree word. Easy, right?
Okay, on to the 2nd degree. And this is the crucial trick to remember. We don't go back to the original root word anymore. Instead, that 1st degree word we just made becomes our new base. We're basically stacking a 2nd block right on top of the 1st one.
Let's look at our example again. We started with form. The 1st derivation gave us formal. Now, formal is our new starting point, and we add the suffix "ize" to get formalize. And there you have it, a 2nd degree word. 2 steps, 2 layers.
And you know what? From here, the pattern just keeps going. For the 3rd degree, we take our new base, formalize, add the suffix "ation," and we get formalization. Then, for the 4th and final degree, we take that word, formalization, add the suffix "ale" to it, and it becomes an adjective, formalizational. See? It's not a monster. It's just a chain of 4 simple, sequential additions.
Okay, I get it. That was a pretty complex example. So let's bring this back down to earth with a word you will definitely see on exams, because it's a perfect example of how prefixes and suffixes work together. Let's look at the journey from happy to unhappiness.
So to analyze any word, the first thing you have to do is separate the root from the derived word. The root, happy, is the core. It can't be broken down anymore. The derived word, unhappiness, is that core plus all of its layers. You can literally see the building blocks right there. The prefix un, the root happy, and the suffix ness.
So let's walk through this chain. We start at the 0 degree with our root, happy. Then we add the suffix ness to create the 1st degree word happiness.
Finally, we add the prefix un to that, creating the second-degree word unhappiness. See? It's a totally logical two-step process. You're getting the hang of this, so now let's assemble everything we've learned into a powerful toolkit that you can use to absolutely crush your exam.
This chart right here is your ultimate cheat sheet. It lays out every single degree, a quick description, and our anchor example. Seriously, if you need a quick review, pause here and take a screenshot. It's everything we've talked about in one neat little package.
And hey, if you're having trouble remembering the order of the degrees, no worries. Use this simple mnemonic. Zany frogs sing silly tunes. The first letter of each word, Z, F, S, S, T, corresponds to 0, first, second, third, and fourth. A silly little sentence to help you remember a really important concept.
All right, time for a little pop quiz. First practice question, devotion. What is the degree of derivation for that word? Think about its root.
And the answer is first degree. The root is devote, and we've added just one suffix, ion, to create devotion. One step means it's the first degree. Simple as that.
Okay, get ready for a rapid-fire round. I'll say the word, you try to name the degree. Ready? First up, atomical. That's a second degree, from atom to atomic to atomical. Next one, hasty. Yep, that's first degree from the root haste. And last one, horror. Ah, a trick question. It's a 0-degree root word. How'd you do?
And now for a final thought I want to leave you with. Start actually listening to the words you and other people use every day. What's the most layered, most complex word you can find? Because I'm telling you, once you start seeing these layers everywhere, you can't unsee them.
And that is how you deconstruct even the most complex words. If this explainer helped you finally master this concept, do me a huge favor and hit that like button, share it with a friend who might be struggling with this too, and definitely subscribe for more explainers designed to make learning simple. See you in the next one.